Our game for today, and this is Indie Tech, by the way.
Yeah. FYI, Indie Tech.
FYI, Indie Tech. I'm Woody.
I'm Kelson.
And our game for today
Yes.
is Space Funeral by our friends, the Catamites. Or friend, not quite sure.
Right. Yeah.
This entity, the Catamites, has occasionally showed up on Indie Attack before, back in the Dark Ages. Chicho and I did a couple of games featuring their work. The Octopus Decision was one of them. I believe we gave the Octopus Decision Game of the Year.
Yes. That's an important decision. We all know it.
This game
Yes.
it's a lot longer than their other stuff I've played.
This is a game.
This is a turn-based RPG.
Yeah.
Set in this weird sort of the Depression verse, I want to call it.
Yeah.
You know, this is almost like what I would imagine the universe from With Those We Love Alive looks like.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Shout out to the IF comp
Yeah.
here again, but absolutely. Yeah, that's a great point.
It's this weird, everybody lives in, like, the heads of giant corpses.
Zombie-esque face huts.
Yeah. There's caves of blood and swamps.
Right.
And...
So you're playing this guy named Philip. I feel like the art... Oh, okay, so my take on the art style was... It's like the character's like Shel Silverstein status, but mixed with this like the depressed version of Mario, like a Mario, just like a tweaked out version, because everything has a face. You know what I mean? Like every object has it's like a face, but it's like not a happy smiling cloud. It's like a kind of deranged looking block on the ground, and you're like, what? But it's like everything is. It's very odd, of course.
Yeah.
And Philip himself, your character, is just this kind of like, just like humpbacked, like he's like monkey-like, raising his arms over his head as he walks.
Your walk cycle is amazing.
It is, yeah. A lot of things are amazing about this game, and it's another very genre referential, just sort of, just like everything referential, kind of humor.
It's weird, you have a quest in this to get to, like, the Lion City, I think?
Well, at first you're trying to get to the Blood Cave, which I heard has a lot of blood.
It has a lot of blood, guys.
And then
you talk to the Blood Wizard.
You talk to the Blood
And if you don't let him
Wizard.
you can let him suck your blood, you don't want to let him suck your blood.
No.
And then he tells you where to go after that.
Right. And I think ultimately, it's like you start out, poor Philip, and you look at Philip, his status is sad, which is one of the funniest things ever in a game, and I think the journey is a part of it, as far as I could tell. Like, you're in your parents' house at the beginning. They're like, "We think you should leave." So it's almost this like Philip's just kind of journey, like whatever the goal is.
Yeah, we're not really too sure.
But yeah, you do have
Philip
destinations.
I don't believe Philip ever speaks. So
not really.
You eventually get some new party members. You get a horse made of severed legs.
Yeah, and the picture of him in your party menu is hilarious. Like the little silly face he's making. All of this is very silly, and yet I think effective. It's this is a classic turn-based RPG.
Yeah, it's just a turn-based RPG gameplay.
Imagine
and it's a pretty easy turn-based RPG.
Oh yeah, I auto-fought pretty much everything because it's that's the thing with turn-based RPGs. If you're a fan of the genre, like at this stage in 2014, it's not so fun, honestly.
Just attack,
heal. Well, there's one you use the mystery punch over and over again in this game, and like it kills everything pretty much. Like the first boss I killed super easily, and I didn't even use the like special thing they gave me to defeat it. I just special punched and it killed it like instantly, and I was like, okay.
But I don't really think it's intended to be difficult. That's not really the point.
That's exactly it. It's like you can critique the mechanism of the combat, but really it's like it's the combat is yet another vehicle for like all the abilities are kind of funny and the status effects.
Crying and distracting people.
Exactly. Yeah, you can making them shaming people, morality,
making them uncomfortable.
Yeah, if you use Bibles on certain people like who are the immoral characters, it'll status affect them, etc. And there's purple drink. There's all this stuff. It's really just the whole thing, the whole game is just a vehicle for
like a bunch of weird
humor, and then just like funky style.
And it's the kind of humor that it's definitely you need to have the right taste for it.
Yeah.
It's the kind of humor where it just presents you this weird, bizarre thing, and it's not really making jokes. It's just kind of like you're intended to think this bizarre, stupid thing is funny.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there are stuff. Yeah, I mean, I think there are jokes like status sad. It's like that's a satire of just like fantasy,
Yeah.
Final Fantasy, where you can be poisoned or and etc. But yeah, it's like it's more that there is this fleshed out world that is extremely like detailed in its way. It's an odd little place that exists. It feels like you walk into this place and from go, there's no like, hey, this is gonna be funny or weird. It's more just like, here's what this is, and you are in it from the start. So just a little to branch off to talk about our journey to this game, which was really funny, just a little funny and a little behind the
Kelsey
scenes.
did not know we'd played the
No,
Kingdomites on
I
here
had no
before.
clue. So I looked up this art. I found this article on this obscure cult Japanese band called La Rallies des Nudes, which is like a French name, so even weirder. But they are this.
They're the soundtrack of this game.
Yeah, the first Your Village is a great song by them, and a lot of people. I got to them. A lot of people commenting on the video were like, "Oh, this was in Space Funeral," and then I looked up Space Funeral, found the game, and I was like, "Oh, we gotta play this if this music is in it." And then I put it on our list. We ended up playing it for this week, and then Woody was like, "Wait, what the hell is going on?"
This song
Yeah.
was in other games from the Katamites that I had played.
Yeah,
Which I heard it in the game, and it was one of those. I know this is from something, and it's really bothering me that I can't remember what.
yeah, exactly.
So I look up the game, and it's by our friends, the Katamites.
Exactly, and so we were just kind of tickled by the weird route that I
Yes.
stumbled upon this thing that you have all this experience with, and I gotta say, man, the soundtrack is killer. I honestly thought to myself, like, if this soundtrack wasn't so good, would I like this game as much? Maybe, maybe that's true. But regardless, it is in there, and it just like affects. I mean, really, because the music is so good, it helps us establish the tone of this game as just being kind of like this almost bittersweet but humorous,
Yeah.
but odd and quirky game, all in one, all at the same time. And I totally loved it. Honestly, like
Yeah,
it's not my
this
game of the
is-
year necessarily or whatever, but
Yeah, I definitely. This is a recommendation with a huge asterisk
Yes.
behind it because I really like this. I really enjoy it. I didn't finish it. I saved. I'm going to go back and finish it. But this is a very, very sort of narrow window of interest in this game. And if you don't like this kind of stupid stuff like this game is not going to convince you.
definitely
And
not.
this is the kind of weirdness that, I wouldn't recommend to a lot of people. You really got to like this stuff
Exactly.
to get anything out of this.
See, this kind of stuff is why Woody and I are through Indie Attack express our friendship has grown, is because we appreciate this kind of thing. Like Tim and Eric humor, we were just talking about unedited footage of a bear and Too Many Cooks, all this
yeah.
stuff, and it's like I feel like this is in the wheelhouse of from earlier in the year, Dog of Dracula. Anybody who's followed the channel, all handful of you, if you like those weirdo games that we say, hey, this is a weirdo game, like
This is definitely a weirdo game.
This is definitely like the king of the weirdo games,
So go check it out if you like the weirdo games.
Absolutely, Space Funeral, and also check out on YouTube the bootleg, only existing in bootlegs, never released an official album, La Rallies des Nudes on YouTube is really worth your time as well.